So I said, okay, Bill, and I know Bill because he has done many conferences and keynote speeches for events that I produce. So I went out to Redmond and I spoke to him and signed a non-disclosure. He said, we're going to be launching Windows 2000. And I'd like you to build a trade show in San Francisco around it. And I was just overly impressed with the product, but I was also honored that he would pick us. And I think the main reason why he picked us is because he saw we had so much success with Steve Jobs and Macworld that he was hoping that maybe we would do the same thing for him, which we did. Actually, we launched that show in 2000 in San Francisco, and it was one of the largest technology shows ever produced. Actually, from a profit standpoint, we never made any more money on a show than we did on that particular show. Then there was an instance where part of my research team was saying, you know, there's this thing out there called Linux. And I said, Linux? What is Linux? I have no idea what Linux is. But, well, there's this Finnish guy who's just gotten out of college and he's developing a core for open source technology. I think we should launch a show. So we reached out to him and brought him to the States, and I said, you know, you have this following of college students. You know, this product is being developed, and I can tell that Microsoft's very nervous and Apple's very nervous about where this may be going, from proprietary software to open software. I'd like to do a show for you. And we did it in San Francisco, and we were doing it twice a year. And basically, we made Linux technology famous around the world, from taking it out of the college dorms around the world and introducing it to the capitalists and the entrepreneurs out there who invested lots of money in developing Linux technology and bringing it to market. So I've had a lot of experience and success in doing that. And one of the main reasons I wanted to come, you know, I was honored to come here to speak with you, is that I wanted to talk to you about, many of you are developing games, want to develop games, you're students almost wrapping it up, and are doing the kinds of things that are fun. And I think it's important that you understand what the benefits are of the fact that how lucky you are right now to be getting involved in this business, the business of games, the industry of games at this time, with the formation of the Hong Kong Game Development Association. Very, very, very important, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. NPI, the company that I run, is based in Hong Kong. We've been in the business over 25 years, so I'm not going to give you too much of a commercial. You can always go to our website. Whenever I talk to students and young entrepreneurs, I really don't sell. I try to inspire and encourage people to follow certain markets and trends where I think that they can make money. I'm an entrepreneur, and that's what I would like to share with you today. I don't have technology to share with you today. But we've been around for 25 years. We have 10 offices all over Asia, and we're based in Hong Kong. We own Asia Game Show. So most of you may know us as the owners and producers of Asia Game Show, which, as you know, has exceeded over 100,000 attendees every December, held here at the Hong Kong Convention Center. We're also pleased to announce today that we're launching a new show called GEE, G-E-E-E. That stands for Global Electronic Entertainment Expo. And you might say, well, what are we doing with two shows? Well, AGS has been a consumer-driven show since its existence. It attracts 94,000 to 100,000 people because people are coming there around the Christmas season and they want to buy games. So it's a convenient place to retail games. We came out with G because with the formation of HKGBA and the formalization of game developers in Hong Kong like you, it's important that you have an opportunity to reach your market. Once your games are developed, how do you get them to market? How do you get the cross-platform technology manufacturers to respect your product? Even know who you are and have a better understanding of what your core competencies are and your skill sets. G, we'll talk a little bit about G in a little while. G will give you that opportunity. I'm really pleased to be here today. I'm just really, truly honored. The last time I had an opportunity to speak in an auditorium like this was at Harvard, giving them a business case study the trade show industry. So it brings back a lot of memories and lecturing over there a number of times. But I am really pleased to announce today that AGS, MPI, G has entered into a strategic partnership with the Hong Kong Game Development Association. What does that mean to you? Why should you care? You should care because until right now, there was no organized way for game developers to meet, network, leverage themselves, leverage the volume of players in the game development marketplace in Hong Kong, and use that strength to be able to sell products. You now have an association, you have an organization who's driven to do what most successful organizations and associations do, which is lobby for you. Lobby for you. Make sure that standards, if necessary, in the industry are regulated, or unregulated standards that are cost prohibitive to you. The association partnering with us in producing the event will now give you a platform at AGS and a platform at G to evangelize the things that are very important to you regarding the industry. To get over hurdles, leverage the marketplace, speak, learn, network. Very, very, very important. The events will be loaded with manufacturers, cross-platform manufacturers, whether they be present or future cross-platform manufacturers, who will be looking for people like you, new developers with new ideas, new technologies that they can embrace and say, come and develop games for us. So you will have an opportunity for the first time in mass to have a business conversation with business people in your business, to be able to turn your hard work, your crunch time into real cash. That's what we're trying to accomplish. We are about the business of game development and how do you build your business. And in partnership with us and the Hong Kong Game Development Association, you have now more power in this region than you've ever had before. Let's talk a little bit about the market opportunities that we see together. And when I say we see together, I see them with you and you see them with me. And the reason why it's important for me to know enough about your business to be dangerous is because we invest millions of dollars and produce US dollars in producing these events. I was one of the founding fathers of E3. So if all of you or many of you are familiar with E3, that was one of my brainchilds that we launched around 1996. The show was hugely successful, and it was successful not because it was a consumer show. It was successful because it was a B2B show. Oh yes, there would be about 64,000 consumers running around these large complexes. It was the largest show in the video game industry by far in the world. Nothing came close to it. But of the 64,000 people that would attend, you guys, all the game developers there, were looking specifically for just 2,300 people. And they are the people who represented the retail distribution channel. How do I sell my games in mass? Not one at a time or 5 at a time like at an AGS, but how do I sell 10,000 versions of my game, 5,000 versions of my game? Is this retail outlet going to buy my games? How many can I sell here? It was a place where deals got done amongst the noise of consumers. G is going to be very much that type of an event. The Global Electronic Entertainment Expo is built around the concept of E3. It was successful the first time I did it. We're going to do it again, and we're going to do it here in Asia, specifically for Hong Kong, for you. We're making some subtle changes in the AGS show. We're with